100 times your voiceover client revenue. Sounds like hype, right? It's not. That's not clickbait. That's the real, well, I certainly hope it gets people to click, but that's reality. That's not exaggerated. That's not hype. That's business. Business, voiceover business. What's going on? I'm Bill DeWeese, professional voiceover talent. I've been doing this thing for a minute or two. Recorded over 1,000 voiceover projects, voiceover coach, and demo producer. And every morning, weekday morning my time. I say we're a global audience, so this is not morning for everybody, and it's varying degrees of morning depending on what part of the U.S. you're in. But at 8:30 Central Time every weekday morning, we get together. We huddle up. It's the voiceover huddle to share a thought, tip, trick, strategy. We break the huddle and we go out and we make it happen for that day. And today I wanted to follow up on. Remember, several days ago I talked about how to 10 times the effectiveness of your demo. That was probably an understatement. We talked about understanding the concept of your greatest hit. And if you haven't watched it, it was a few days ago. You can go back and check it out. But just by making a simple adjustment, you can dramatically increase the effectiveness of your demo and get more opportunities. 100 xing a multiple of 100 on your client revenue. That's no joke, and it's not hype. To build a business, and let me back up. And I know I talked about this a number of times, but I know sometimes you have to approach this in different ways, different angles to really help it to sink in because it's not everybody's getting this yet. Not everybody will get it, and that's okay. But as you know, I approach voiceover as a business, and it's something I love to do, and there is certainly an art to it. But more than anything else, if you want to do this for a living and you want to keep doing it, you better be thinking of it as a business. And if you want to have a business, you can't just think about sales, like selling something to somebody, an exchange. I sell you something, therefore I have success. And that is success, but only in that moment because those dollars generated in that moment are only good for a limited time, right? We need that money for stuff. It gets spent for various and sundry things. And what we need in our voiceover career business is something that's sustainable, that keeps repeating. And the way to do that is, yes, go out and get a job, but then turn that job, that client, into a repeat client. And this whole 100x thing, that is not hype. So imagine this. You go out, you get a job. Let's say it's a $200 job. You pick up a $200 job. Doesn't matter where you get it. It could be direct marketing, Fiverr, agent, it could be any number, doesn't matter how you get it. The one thing that will that will turn that one client into a repeat client is this. Here's the key this morning. It's communication. Now, I mean, there's this whole system to this. I mean, there's more to it would take a big part of the morning to talk about every single aspect of this. But I want you to focus on this communication because it's the thing where most people drop the ball. Now, let me back up a little bit and just reinforce this idea of 100 times. So, do you think it's extremely unusual to turn $200 into $20,000? It's not. Now, I'm not talking about turning a $200 job into a $20,000 job. Here's what I want you to understand. I'm talking about lifetime value of a client. Lifetime value of a client. Not what they just bring you in that job, but what they can bring you in the years to come as you develop a relationship with them. I've turned 200, 300, $500 jobs into tens of thousands of dollars over the years. I've got a client that started off, and I don't remember what the first job paid me. Pretty sure it wasn't all that much. It's probably maybe $200 or so, maybe a little less. I don't know. But over the course of my relationship with that client, and I don't have the exact numbers, I have to go back and figure it out, but I think it's about $100,000 or more just from that one client. And it's because I communicate and I do the work. I've got a dear friend of mine in voiceover who not through this is a different angle. Same topic, different angle, bigger numbers. Because of the work that he did for a client, that client referred him to another client. The client that was referred to him now pays him $100,000 a year. Again, that's no joke, no hype. That's the truth. And it's been happening for years for my friend because of one client. He does their, he's like the voice of the brand, of this particular brand. One of the voices, they use multiple voices. Because he treated that first client well, he communicated. The client knew he could be trusted, knew the way he operated, and therefore he was confident in referring him. Now, am I saying, well, follow up, do good, communicate, and you're going to turn $100 into, $100,000 in the next year or two? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you've got to take the long view. Remember, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And every opportunity you get is a gift put in your lap. And the question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to tear the package off of it, like a 3-year-old at Christmas and, consume it, enjoy it, and then toss it aside? Or are you going to take loving care of that gift? Make sure it's well taken care of, because I'm telling you, you take care of that gift that's given to you, and that gift will take care of you over and over and over and over again. That's one of the reasons that people who start in voiceover have a hard time staying in voiceover, because they're always going out trying to get the next job. Again, you need to get the next job, but they don't put much emphasis or thought into keeping that client. That's where the money starts to come in. It's like, think about it as investing. And I don't know about you, but I'm a pretty disciplined investor. I mean, every week I've got X number of dollars, that I'm putting in my investments every week. Now, if you look at it over the course of a week or two, or a few months, you think, okay, well, that's nice, but it doesn't get exciting until that money starts to work for me over time. And over 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, then it starts to become something very, very significant. The jobs, the opportunities you get are an investment. Treat them with a lot of love and a lot of care and a lot of communication. Again, that's our key word today, communication. If you do that, you're going to turn $100 into $1,000, into $10,000. You're going to turn a $300 job into $10,000, $50,000, maybe even $100,000 over the life of that client. It takes great patience and what did we talk about the other day? Persistence. But again, this is no hype. This is the real deal. And I think and I understand when you're first getting in voiceover, it's hard to wrap your head around that, right? You think, this you're blowing smoke. This is BS. It's not. It's business. It's business. And that's why I keep pounding the principles of business, because until you get that, until you implement and execute, then you're going to be on this hamster treadmill, and you're just going to be spinning your wheels, and you're going to get frustrated. But once you get this, it can really change everything. So communicate with your clients. That's where it all starts, communication. I mentioned, we could take a morning and talk through a whole system. And I do have a way of dealing with clients from beginning to end. And that's what today's 8th day, my 8th day of Christmas, my 8th day of the holiday sale is today. It's a $97 training, which is about 25% of the regular price of it. But it's today for that particular training. Again, it's a different one every 12 days. So if you're interested in finding out the whole spiel from beginning to end, and getting your system in place so that you take those jobs, big or small, cultivate them into something ongoing that will turn into something very significant over time. It's an investment. The link's below in the description. But for those of you who are, you're like, I don't know about it. Yes. And there's many on this live stream this morning who know this as a fact. Take those opportunities, those gifts, hard-earned, though they may, I guess a gift is a given. But these are hard-earned. I know that. I know it's not a gift in the sense that somebody just drops it in your lap, although sometimes it does happen that way. As hard-earned or not as it is to get a job, cultivate it, communicate, turn that into something that's ongoing. It will change. I mean, literally, again, it sounds like hype, but it's so true. It will change your life. You turn this thing into just something that you're trying to get these jobs. You turn it into a real business. You turn it into relationships with clients, and they take care of you and your family for years to come. It's an amazing and a beautiful thing. Well, if you haven't yet, take just a second, if you would, to jump on the live chat stream, or the live stream chat, I should say, And let me know where you're watching or listening from this morning. We'll do some shout outs here after I have one more sip of this is some Caribou coffee today. We're still not fully set up in the kitchen yet with all our stuff. So we have a little Keurig set up in our bathroom right now. And that's when yeah, I know. It's not Michigan cherry, but it'll do for now. We've got Ron, who was first in this morning from Charleston, where it's a balmy 38 degrees. Phil in Tokyo, Bill in Boise, Ken in Harker Heights, Texas, Mark in Estes Park, Colorado, Aaron in Umatilla, Florida. Rob, what's going on in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Loveland, where it's sunny and 24. Hey, AG, how are you doing? John in Rhinebeck, New York. What's going on, Michelle in Philadelphia, Melissa in San Diego, Ralph in Cedar Falls, Iowa, Ty in Warsaw, Indiana, Greg in Asheville, North Carolina, Wayne in the Olympic Peninsula, Denise, Long Island, Scotty in Brookings, South Dakota, Dave in New York City. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Yes, to you as well, Dave. Dale in Atlanta, MG in North Carolina, GS in Longview, Washington. Let's see here. Good morning, Robert in Mobile, Alabama. Needing some morning motivation. Well, Robert, I hope this did the trick. I hope it helps. Mike, how are you doing in freezing South Alabama? Let's see. Anik, how are you in Texas? If I mispronounced your name, please do forgive me. I do my best. Danielle in Fort Wayne. JR in sunny Austin. Happy Taco Tuesday to you. Robert in Altoona. Theo says, good morning to all from downtown Chicago, where 19-degree Fahrenheit temps cause weird things to happen. 2 joggers passed me at the same time. One was human. The other, a large rodent. Oh, Theo, that's a good one. We were watching, the Channel 7 News last night, which is it's our favorite local news of choice, Chicago news. And they had a beautiful shot. Vicki and I were just admiring the beautiful shot of the skyline and how colorful it was here during the holiday season. Downtown Chicago is a beautiful place to be, no doubt. Susan, good morning to you in Stillwater. Yesterday, I got paid from my first paid project, and I got an apology message from an author telling me I had made the shortlist, but was not chosen. Susan, that's fantastic. And, occasionally, I never expect that to happen because usually people don't respond, but occasionally somebody will. And if they took the time to do that, that probably means they liked you to begin with. So you're probably going to be on their radar going forward. And that's fantastic, Susan. Armando, good morning to you from the Dominican Republic. Hope you're doing well. If you need a VO in Spanish, I'm there. Thank you, Armando. I appreciate knowing that. Susan says, and she goes on to say, and then asked if I would be open to doing their next book. There you go. Dave says the average rate for a business consultant is $100 an hour. You can't beat the VO blueprint pricing. How many successful business owners will let you shadow them to show you their secret sauce? Bill does. Dave, thank you again, man. I need to hire you. Mike says, good morning from York, Pennsylvania. Terry, what's up in beautiful Fallston, Maryland? Says, I agree, Bill. My background in radio sales proves repeat clients and strong communication will work. See, this is what I'm telling you. A lot of what I tell you is not voiceover specific. So sometimes it may feel like, well, this is not really voiceover. Well, that's the reason a lot of people struggle, because they think it's not voiceover. It is voiceover. Again, I don't care if you're selling sandwiches, widgets, or your voiceover services. These are things you must understand and master for success. We've got Christopher in Dubuque. Robert, good morning to you in Atlanta. Bob in Reedsville. Scotty, true stuff, Bill. One audiobook I received by audition has led to 4 more books from the author. Hashtag customer care. Yeah, thanks for that comment, Scotty. That's good. Wally, the business teaching you give us is so valuable. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Wally. I think most of you guys know I used to be a professor. I used to teach communication and business, and I really loved it. And my forte, of course, was marketing. And I taught in an MBA program. And these classes, the MBA stuff, that when I was in that program was a night class for working adults. And I loved having these conversations with those adults, talking about these concepts, the stuff that really works. And to be able to bring it to you guys in voiceover, I mean, I love talking about it because it is so true and it works, and I just don't hear anybody talking about it. So I hope you're getting something from this, and it gives you an edge. It will give you an edge that most people just don't have because they just don't understand these concepts. Mandy, how are you doing outside Philadelphia? Julie in Hummelstown, Pennsylvania. AG says making it easy for the client is powerful too. Oh, AG, you are so right. The easier you can make it for your client, the better. Be a hero to your client, and they will love you for it. Martin in Los Alamitos, California. Hey, Martin, good morning. Heather, hope you're doing well in Chattanooga. Oh, okay. Anique, thank you. Perfect. French accent. Well, my French accent doesn't work so well, but thank you. I'm glad I was at least in the ballpark on that, and good to have you on the stream today. Matt in Central New Jersey. Nathan, nice to be with you again live. Since the move, I seldom catch you live. 9:30 Eastern is a little harder to make, listening from Penns Creek, Pennsylvania. Hey, Nathan, thanks for being here. And Jordan in Orlando, Florida. Guys, I want you to be thinking about this 100 multiplier. It may be more, it may be less from client to client. But the point is, you can turn those jobs into something pretty significant over time if you'll take the time to do the work with your client and to develop that relationship. And if you feel like you need help in doing that and you need a system in doing that and want to make sure you're hitting all the key points, just go below again that the specialty, $97 for that training, and click the link. Check it all out. And I appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.